Probably hear the heater blasting away furiously. Okay, so we've got a reasonably good amount of time here now. Raining, it is indeed raining. Here goes. Soggy Manchester, here we come. Is that a motorbike or a car? It's a car with only one headlight. Well, particularly when it's the offside one that's out. I can never remember which offside and near side is. Is near side the one near the curb or the other way around? I don't know. I usually end up seeing driver's side and passenger side. Trust me to get behind a really slow car. The bus lane's in operation now, so we can't do it. Video bit rate's dropped a bit, so fingers crossed we're going to stay on. There's a lot of traffic tonight. Wow, the ring road's packed. motorway is absolutely packed. But we are not moving at all. The lights changed, but we haven't moved yet. This is not good. This is not good at all. Looks like I'm going to miss the pre-concert performance at this rate. Did you see the motorway just then when I turned the camera around or not? Right, here's hoping we get through this time and not have to wait for another change of the lights. Doesn't look like it though. Doesn't look like we're going to move at all. Nope. This is not good. There's nothing on the other side of the lights as far as I can see, so I think we're going to be alright once we get going. It's just these Victoria Avenue lights, there's such a long pause on this particular direction. It's probably queued back past Mayway by now, I should think. Right, here goes. Got through. going to be more trouble in Greece then.
The Bank of England is injecting another £50 million into the British economy to try to stave off another recession. The main interest rate remains unchanged at a record low of 1%. The editor-in-chief of the Daily Mail, Paul Dacre, has angrily denied allegations made by the actor Hugh Grant that his newspaper group had been involved in phone hacking. Appearing for a second time before the Leveson inquiry on press standards, Mr. Dacre described the claims as explosive and inconsiderate. 9 members of an Islamist terror group held in jail by a judge in Woolwich Crown Court, 4 of them pleaded guilty to plotting to bomb the London Stock Exchange, received minimum terms of between 12 and 16 years. 3 others were given indeterminate sentences for trying to raise funds to build a terrorist training camp in Pakistan. A militant commander linked to Al-Qaeda has reportedly been killed in an American drone strike in a tribal area near Pakistan's border with Afghanistan. Badam Mansour is believed to have been behind a number of major attacks, including the killing of 90 people who belong to a minority sect in the Pakistani city of Lahore. The controversial Spanish judge has been banned from practicing law for 11 years after being convicted of ordering illegal wiretapping conversations between suspects and their lawyers. Baltasar Garzon, who's 56, has gained international attention for his work pursuing human rights cases. He's also being tried for investigating crimes committed during the Spanish Civil War in violation of the National Amnesty Law. The chairman of the Football Association, David Bernstein, has described as regrettable the resignation of Fabio Capello as the England coach. He said there was a preference that his successor should have been British, but the priority was to appoint the best person regardless of nationality. I misspoke earlier. The Bank of England is injecting another £15 billion, not million, into the British economy. In the city, the 100-share index closed up 20 points at 5,895. The weather forecast: snow is expected in central and northeastern England tonight, but it could extend into Wales as well as southern and southwest England, with severe frost in southeast England. Scotland and Northern Ireland will be milder. Rain is welcome from the west. That's the BBC News at 3 minutes past 6.
What a lovely weather forecast. Thank you very much indeed, David. Now, the conductor Charles Hayden is here ahead of his upcoming family concerts at London Southbank Centre. Very good to see you. Can you tell me a bit, please, about what you're hoping to do with these concerts? What's the purpose of them?
The purpose of them really is to try and get more children and families.
What's the broadcast like at the moment, Andy? Is it still smooth or not?
To have a kind of first-hand, visceral experience of a live orchestra. I'm sure many people listening to this will remember that moment when they first heard an orchestra in the flesh. You know, and it's one of those experiences which I think stays with you forever. I mean, where else in any other corner of life can you find upwards of 100 people doing something so extraordinarily magical all together, all at the same time?
We have been talking on this show all week about new ways of getting audiences to hear an orchestra, about how you open up this world without somehow diminishing it. I know that's at the very centre of your kind of evangelical mission to bring orchestral music to people.
Well, it is, Susie, really, because the fact is that music is, baseline, the most universal language we have as a species.
Yeah, sing that in capital letters, thank you.
And the fact is, most people engage in music on a daily basis. Most people on the planet, and they'll probably have, if they're lucky enough to have the iPods or whatever other way that they listen to music, they're rammed full of different kinds of music of every sort. But so often, orchestral music is the kind of hole in the collection, because it's an area of music where most people don't feel empowered to go. You know, they're fearful of it. They feel that they don't have the right background, the right education, they don't have the right social group. Whereas, of course, I would say music is universal. There are only 2 sorts, actually, great and terrible. It's up to anyone and everyone what they love into either category.
So how do you go about changing that with a concert like this? How do you break down and kind of erode those barriers that say, no, you cannot come into classical music?
Well, one of the great things is that these 2 concerts sit right in the middle of a fantastic festival in the Southbank Centre called Imagine, which is a festival for children, which runs right across half term and another week after. It's a very big, open-hearted, kind of open-door policy type carnival fiesta thing, where you can storytelling where people like me, if that was a new piece performing on the trial of Dennis the Melons or something intriguing. You know, there's opera for babies, hip-hop for toddlers. I mean, it did an array of different things. Right in the middle of these 2 concerts that I'm doing with the wonderful Philharmonic Orchestra, what I hope is the message we're giving out is that these are events where anyone from any kind of background can come along and engage with some phenomenally good music. See, people often say, classical music is not really for me, that's rather old-fashioned, like museum pieces, isn't it? In fact, people think of classical music as being a bit like a maiden aunt who sits alone in the front bar and everyone's a bit fearful of talking to. But to me, that argument is a non-starter.
Well, the word classical doesn't mean what some people think it means.
It's so old, we won't bother with it now, it has no relevance now. No one on the planet would claim that. So why would they claim it about a Mozart symphony?
We'll talk more in a moment, but I know the first concert you're giving is about painting and sound, and we wanted just to play part of this Haydn Symphony, the early Haydn Symphony, Le Matin.
Oh my goodness, it's such an extraordinary evocation of the sunrise. Simple as that. This is Haydn very early on.
Le Matin, Le Midi and Le Soir, 3 Haydn symphonies.
He spent most of the year living in his palace out on the borders of Austria-Hungary at the time, which is basically respected. In the concert hall, there is this extraordinary set of sort of ceiling paintings, one representing dawn, one representing winter, one representing evening. So as a first base inspiration, I thought, I'm going to write 3 symphonies, one sort of evoking each of these moments in the day. So Le Matin starts with this absolutely incandescently beautiful sunrise.
Yes, it's raining. Not very hard, but it's raining. Over there with no lights on, you see that? You noticed that just then. I gave that guy to my left a bit more room than I should have then, by going on the wrong side of the road so he could get through that gap. There was no traffic on the other side, so it didn't matter. I should have given him all my headlights and a horn, shouldn't I really? Because that was a quick light change. Now there was the roadworks here the other week, I wonder if it's still here. Doesn't look like it. Roadworks 300 yards. I wonder if that's on the road here. Well, it's not, obviously not delaying us very much. There's no queue.
Inspired by his employer's ceiling arrest.
I'm on at home already, yes. I should be broadcasting the return journey on this at about 9:30.
Charles, you're talking about painting in sound in this concert.
On this channel, that is.
What are we going to see on stage?
Well, the roots of this concert lies Mussorgsky's.
Nedra UK channel is on at the moment anyway.
Which was inspired directly by the work of a great friend of his, Victor Hartman, a sculptor, a cartoonist, a designer, a painter, who died tragically young, leaving a great body of work behind him. And in order to kind of honour his memory, Mussorgsky decided to write a piano piece called Pictures at an Exhibition, which along the way tries to depict, purely of course in sound, in music, the essence of these various images, whether they're drawn to designs or words. Of course, because it's Mussorgsky, I think a fantastically kind of big-hearted and compassionate man. Very often it's much more than just trying to describe the images that one sees. It's actually about trying to give a sense of the human perspective. What kind of oil is given off, as it were, when you look at that image? How does it make you feel? What thoughts does it raise in your mind? So it's an astonishing set of pieces. Now, of course, we're not doing it in a piano-only version, we're doing it in that intoxicatingly brilliant orchestration by Maurice Ravel, which was done some years later.
And then the second concert you're doing, which is a week on Saturday, is about migration. Just tell me a tiny bit about the kind of ideas that are going to be coming up out of
Yeah, I mean, that seemed like a no-brainer, Susie. Here we are in 2012, very interesting year, the Olympics coming to London. I don't know you know this, but there are actually...
Well, they've got a new advert sign now where the generator sculpture used to be.
The next closest is New York, Manhattan, which is about 200. So we are genuinely far and away the most multicultural point on the globe.
There used to be a sculpture where that advert is.
Proud of. But with the Olympics coming here, it's the first time in Olympic history that every single participating team...
A rather nice one too.
...already spoken in the streets of the...
But it got vandalised.
That's quite exciting. So here we are. We've got this piece called the Dvorak New World Symphony, or Symphony from the New World, which is his response in a way
Can't
to
quite fit through there, I don't think.
arriving in that kind of megapolis, if one might call it that, which is New York, just being blown sideways by the sheer scale, the enormity of the thing, but also, of course, the can-do culture which he found there. And he wrote this piece which in every way expresses that. So how appropriate for us to be exploring that piece here in London right at this moment where, you know, everyone has arrived.
You're going to hear an amazing arrangement of it. It's featuring Paul Robson.
I'm just
clown just then on the wrong side of the road. We're under a railway bridge here, so I'm amazed the signal's staying on. Well, actually, Andy, when it's wet, you can't see the lines on the road. There's the old Beetham Tower. And Miss Piggy. And the bus shelter.
There's no break, there's no end, just a little on. Wide awake with a smile, going on and on. It's not far, just close by, just